What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, break down what is moving it, and why tomorrow is a very big deal for the market. Before we get into any of that, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, NIO is down 1.37%, 497 the low, 508 the high, and very low volumes. So 25.1 million shares being traded, 53.01 is the average. Today's nothing really crazy, nothing special, nothing coming out from NIO. So no press releases, no SEC filings. Only thing worthwhile to really bring up from social media was this. So this does show the large SUV sales from November. So top 10, and you see NIO ES8 sitting at 10,689 at position number 2, and then good old Onvo L90 sitting at 5,900. Aside from this, which does signal a good amount of demand, nothing really crazy coming out. And it's not just NIO. A lot of stocks seem to be going kind of radio silent, and that's somewhat the case for December in general. But there is a lot of big data coming out tomorrow that's going to really move the market. So starting off with Chinese data, we have inflation year over year and also month over month. So that one definitely is going to be a big one for Chinese stocks, and then PPI. So all of this is coming out this evening. So again, it's going to impact a lot of the stocks tomorrow. And then from the States, we did have some pretty good data coming out today. And even though it was good, that's not what generally the market wants, right? So we had ADP employment, the weekly, and JOLT numbers, both September and October's numbers. And all of it, like I said, came in pretty good. But the market wants negative data. And this is why going into the big decision rate tomorrow, we're sitting at an 87.4% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut. So all in all, this is going to really impact the whole market, especially through algorithmic trading. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. So moral of the story is that tomorrow is going to be a fairly volatile day. But there is one interesting thing that is happening today, and you are seeing shorts returning 1.8 million shares. At its peak, they were actually returning 6 million shares. So I'm sure some of you might be wondering, well, how does that work? How on earth does that pan out? Where at its peak, they were returning 6 million shares, but yet you don't really see any craziness or anything. And mind you, the spike actually did happen. This was because of shorts, but still, if you kind of look at this right here, which these are all the transactions occurring on the dark pool, this is primarily used by shorts as well as hedge funds. So again, the fact that shorts are returning, which is meaning that they're buying, adding buying pressure, there's equal weight of hedge funds that are selling. So there is a lot of selling going on from institutions, primarily on the dark pool. On the secondary market, we only see 3 transactions, 2 buys, 1 sell. So a lot of the smaller players aren't really doing too much. And I think a lot of hedge funds might be selling because of this right here. So this is something I've brought up, but they're technicals. NIO's technicals, ever since it broke below that blue line, that 50-day moving average, it kind of showed that there was going to be consolidation. I didn't anticipate this magnitude, which is crazy, but right now it is flirting with that 200-day moving average. And right now, I guess it is technically below it as well. So if, let's say, institutions keep selling and it closes below that 200-day moving average for 2 consecutive days, this is where you could see a lot more consolidation. And so similar to what happened back in March. So whenever it breaks below that 200-day moving average, that does signal a very broad long-term type of trend. So when it kind of broke below that 200 in March, it went from around $4 and change to a low of 302. So in general, not saying that 302 is going to be hit, but from the technicals, I think a lot of hedge funds might be selling out because of this, which kind of funny how they're kind of doing it now versus when they should have realistically done it at the 50-day moving average. But in general, no new analyst ratings. On a side note, looking at the market position, you don't really see that much willing buyers. You see kind of a grouping between that 470 and 480 for the most part. And if obviously that's even touched, that's well below that 200-day moving average. There really hasn't been that much in articles either. So it's more linked to just the technicals and things along those lines. A couple points to watch for though from the options. Today we are seeing roughly around 2.58 million in calls, 1.3 in puts, and then 46% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. So that's kind of abnormal. This is kind of the only bullish signal out there, because again, I typically like to look at what shorts do, what institutions are doing, options, and just general technical analysis. This, like I said, was kind of the only bullish thing out there right now. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that 5 to 550. Some of that could be hedging, mind you, but the bears are anticipating for it to be between that 450 and 5. So definitely over the next couple of trading days, it is going to be a battle, but interesting to see hedge funds selling. So why do you think hedge funds are selling now? Do you think it's some reason or something going on for that? And why do you think that shorts are returning roughly around 2 million or 1.78 million shares right now? So what's your thoughts on NIO? Give yourself a shout out if you are buying. Are you selling? Do you feel that we're going to be back to the 4s or the 3s? What's your kind of general thoughts on all that? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.